Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a reading vlog. Today I'm gonna do a challenge where I attempt to read at least 100 pages every single day. Attempt is the key word here, okay? Because I genuinely am not sure if I will achieve that. I feel like I've been in such a huge reading slump recently, and I love reading. Reading is such a huge part of my life. I mean, like, I've been reading ever since I could read, but since I've started taking writing more seriously, I haven't been reading as much, and I actually have quite a decent explanation for that. Usually when I'm doing an art medium, I don't like to consume that medium, if that makes any sense. When I was in high school, I used to do film, and when I was making films, I barely watched any movies. That's probably not the best advice that people would give you. Usually people would say if you want to get better at something, you have to consume more of it. But I think it gets to a point where if you're consuming so much, you're not creating anymore. And it's just kind of finding that balance between consumption and creating. And I think over the past year, I've been creating a lot more than I have been consuming, and that's always been something that I love more. I mean, writing and reading are two different things, but obviously they're interlinked. And I think sometimes if I'm really deep into my manuscript, like I'm in a specific chapter, I kind of have a flow going. I don't like to read a really good book because it kind of interrupts my flow a little bit, because then my brain is going to have two stories going on at once, and then I won't be able to focus on one or the other. Because low-key, addictive books are really bad for you if you're a writer. Like, if I start reading something and I really enjoy it, I actually can't stop. That book will be in my hand until the last page. I think when I was reading Alchemized, one of the most amazing books I've ever read in my life, I think. I was reading Alchemized, and I took literally Alchemized everywhere. I had to download it on my Kindle too, because obviously I can't carry that brick everywhere. When I'm inside a book, I am there 100%. But I feel like the more I write, the less I read. And I want to more. I think 100 pages might be a little bit too much, like if I'm writing and reading at the same time. But obviously, for the sake of this video, I'm not going to tell you that I'm gonna read 50 pages a day, because 50 doesn't sound like a challenge, but 100 does. So we're gonna try and read 100 pages every single day, whatever book I want. And right now I'm kind of in the middle of like 4 or 5 books. Don't know why. I'm gonna show you guys all of the books I'm in the middle of, because there's a lot, and I have a dilemma, obviously, that I am starting books and I'm not finishing them. And it really kind of annoys me. Like, I really hope I at least catch up a little bit on my reading goal for this video. So firstly, I'm in the middle of The Handmaid's Tale. I'm currently on page 101. I'm on chapter 16, which is not that bad. Is it bad? I don't know. But I will say I haven't been picking up this book every chance I get. Sometimes when I read classics, it kind of stresses me out a little bit. I mean, that's the point. Sometimes I don't want to be stressed out. Like, I just kind of want to have fun. When I was reading Madonna in a Fur Coat, that was a really good book, but it genuinely stressed me out, and I was upset. Like, I felt physically upset while reading it, but I am chipping away at it slowly, and I think that's fine to do. Second book is Animal Farm. This is actually the illustrated version, which is so adorable, but I have read Animal Farm back in middle school, and I don't think I've ever read it again. I want to read it again, so I'm currently on page 53, and like I said, I don't like reading classics that much. I don't know why I'm picking them up when I'm obviously in a reading slump, but anyway, if I do read this book today, I could literally get 100 pages. That's it. This book is so short. Like, come on, be so for real. Why can't I finish this? The next book I'm reading is actually Magnolia Parks, and I have tried to read this book about, oh my god, it's endless, really. I've tried to read this book so many times. I have the original cover. I've never gotten through it. I want to get through it. And the book so far is okay. Like, it's not wowing me to that extent, but it's okay. Like, I can read it. Nothing is really intriguing me right now, and it kind of upsets me. I'm currently on page 146. Like, I just kind of want to get through it because I've started it so many times. Yeah, this is something on the list. And the last book that I'm in the middle of is The Tide Always Comes Back by Cato Valentina. This is such a cute summer romance. Like, I'm eating it up. If you don't know who Cato is, she's actually also an author tuber, and we've done a collab before, but I've been following her even before we did a collab. Like, ever since she posted her first writing video, I was there watching it. I'm so glad that we know each other because she is so talented. I was so drawn by her writing style ever since we did the collab video, so I knew that this book would be amazing, and I was completely correct. Obviously, if you want to pre-order The Tide Always Comes Back, I will put the link down below. So let me talk about The Tide Always Comes Back for a second. This book is set in a small town where everyone basically knows each other, but suddenly a new boy appears, and Kailani is so confused, like, where did this boy come from? Because usually people don't leave and nobody moves in. This book also deals with toxic relationships and the healing process. I think a lot of times books don't talk about the aftermath of a falling out of a relationship, because when you get out of a relationship, there's so much more that you lose other than the relationship aspect of that person. Like, you lose your friend, you lose the friend group, right? I mean, I'm more than halfway through this book, so I can kind of make a judgment on on how the healing process is written, and I'm definitely enjoying it so far. I think that I have so much care for her as a character, and I see bits and pieces of myself in her, and I think a lot of girls can see that too. It's not just about her getting out of a relationship. Of course, sure, it's a romance, but it's also about her healing process, her trying to find herself and her confidence again. And obviously our main guy, Hadrian, plays a big role in this book, but I do think that like my favorite part of it is watching her grow. Obviously these characters are younger than me. They're in high school. I think they're like 17. I'm 21. Honestly, it doesn't sound like I'm much older than them, but you grow so much during high school and you grow into yourself even more after you graduate. But yeah, basically like to summarize, I have so much like care for Kailani. I just want to give her a hug. I think she deserves it, and Finn is so evil. If you read it, you'll get it. I think I will read this book today and read like 100 pages of it. Kindle. Don't know why I said it like that. I'm so sorry. I'm 55% through the book, but yeah, we're gonna read this for a little bit and then I have work, so I'm gonna go back to work. My next clip is actually going to be a haul, so let's jump right into the haul. I'm hoping the audio is okay, by the way. It's so echoey in this room. But first of all, we have a book haul. I ordered these 2 books in the mail and we are going to be unboxing them right now. One I actually got literally delivered to my house today, and then the other one just came in the mail as well. These are 2 books that I never thought I would ever read or finish. Let's get to opening these books. I love a good book unboxing and I haven't done one in a while. I'm always like, I need to read my TBR, I need to read the books on my shelf, but it's warranted this time and I really want to read these. Like oh my god, like I need to read this so badly. Let's open it up. We're gonna open this one first. The first book is The Let Them Theory. I'm really terrified the audio is not going to work, which is why I'm moving my mic back and forth. But the first book is The Let Them Theory. I really need to read this. I need it to be ingested into my brain. A client came in a few months ago and they told me that this is one of the best books that they've ever read. I don't read self-help books. I hate self-help books, like with a burning passion. And I always have been like a I don't care kind of girly ever since I learned that those words existed. And you know what? I really still don't care. But I think that this will be a good nail to the coffin for that. I've been wanting to read this since it was out, but they all have it in hardcover and I hate hardcover. So I waited until they came out with the paperback version. These 2 books I bought are really 2 ends of the spectrum. So let me just show you the second book. My second book is Magnolia Parks. I don't know what is happening. I've tried to read this book many times. I think I've picked it up 3 times because the original covers are so beautiful. They are hardcover size though, even if you get the paperback, and I have them on my shelf. I have picked them up multiple times. I couldn't get through them. I know so many people have been hyping these books up, and I love the quote, how many loves do you get in a lifetime? But I genuinely couldn't get through these books because the characters were really unlikable for me. Like both of them were unlikable to me, and I felt like we were just going around and around in circles. These 2 are really 2 ends of the spectrum. I think one will help me heal and the other one will make me spiral. After I reorganized my shelf, I sat on my couch and read the remaining 45% of The Tide Always Comes Back. This is a perfect book to put on your summer TBR. A little bit of a reading update. Sorry I look like a vampire today. Yesterday, I actually did achieve the goal, I think. I mean, I read 45%. Are my calculations correct? I can't believe I needed to double check on a calculator for that. Really proves I need to be back in school. Oh yeah, I just graduated. I graduated a week ago. So that's so good because now I can just sit here and make YouTube videos and not have to intake any vital information. I'm joking, like my school was great, honestly. I had so much fun learning everything that they had to offer, and I think that somehow everything that they taught me did seep into my subconscious. And I do credit my college for giving me a lot of knowledge that I wouldn't have learned otherwise. But is school the most important thing in my life? No. I think I was always raised to believe that it wasn't, and that it's kind of what you do with your life. So I'm kind of glad that I graduated. I'm kind of done with it, and I have a lot more time to do my work. Also, for all the younger viewers who are still in high school or college, like just know that it's not the end of the world. It really does feel like that's your entire world when you're in school, but just know that the pressure is so fake. I think during the end of high school, I was very, very stressed, and you can really see it on my face if you look back at old stuff. If you're still in school, just trust me, it's not the end of the world. That is really not your entire life, and really it is what you do with your life after school or even during school. It's the opportunities that you seek, and I think I've learned so much more having real experiences and sitting in a classroom. I know some of you guys are still in high school and college, and I just wanted to, you know, give those words of encouragement. But yeah, I'm really glad to be done until masters, obviously, but for now I'm done, and I think I'll take a few months just to sit with myself a little bit and work my ass off. I'm sorry for going on a tangent. I hope it was like a little bit insightful, I guess. But anyway, yesterday I actually finished The Tide Always Comes Back by my friend Kato. I read the remaining 45% of the book and I gave it 5 stars. I'm so proud of Kato for the world that she created. I think I gave this review in my earlier clip. I feel like a lot of girls can really relate to Kailani's character, and I think that that's what makes the book so special. It's a YA romance, so there's no spice, and it's just really cute. I felt like I was really being transported back to high school, genuinely. I wonder if there's gonna be like a little sequel or a novella with how it ended. It was so fun, like just watching her go through the process of writing this book. I'm gonna read you some of the quotes that I tabbed, but I wasn't watching him because I was judging. I was watching because I was unreasonably enamored by him. Everything he did as if he were the first person to ever do it. Hadrian was the first person to open a door, to clap his hands, to pick a flower. Like, that's so cute. Also, they annotated a book together and they passed it back and forth, and like, don't even talk to me right now. That's literally giving Jess.
Then I'll leave you this last little trick.
You bought a copy? I told you I'd lend you mine.
It is yours.
You stole my book.
No, borrowed it.
Okay, that's not called a trick, that's called a felony.
I just want to put some notes in the margins for you.
Nothing had ever been as thoughtful as having a sliver of somebody's brain, line by line, parts of themselves lingering within the gaps of adjacent sentences. I mean, like, people don't really read anymore, but if you can find me a Hadrian, I will take him. So there's also this one, which I love. The stars were shaking their heads at me too, bouncing left to right. They were telling me how disappointed they were in the outcome of the pairing they had aligned.
Fading hand, but you're reaching.
On Thursday, I went to my friend's art exhibition, and I honestly didn't film much, but they were live painting, and it was so cool to see art being made in real time. When I got home, I continued reading lore, and I actually made a lot of progress, so that was good.
Is it signal? Is it noise? Is it borrowed? Is it yours? I'm wide awake under the midnight sun. Everything's shining, even the made-up ones. If it stays, it's real.
We are working, but I thought I'd give you guys a quick update since my customer actually wrapped up super fast. Also got me tea, which is so sweet. Let's put it together. Have you guys seen those videos of deconstructed matcha? What is that? I actually haven't had Thai tea in a long time. I'm gonna give you guys a reading update now because that's what you're here for. I haven't vlogged every single day, but I did try to film some clips of what I'm doing throughout the day. I actually have the book with me because it's my current read. The cover has Medusa on it, and I have a deep fear of drawn snakes. Like, if I see a snake in real life, I'm like, okay, it's fine, it's nature. But snakes in drawings, I just can't. Like, okay, I know it sounds so stupid, but I just literally cannot. And this was a book trade. So imagine my surprise when I saw this cover. It had a bunch of snakes on it, and I was like, ooh. Of course, the person who I was trading with thought I was completely insane because who the fuck is scared of drawn snakes? And I wrapped the book in this paper so I can actually touch it and bring it to places. This book's title is called Lore, and there was a time when I think I was seeing this book in a lot of places. Like, it's not like an underrated book. People were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, like, I kind of want to read it, but it has snakes on the cover, so I avoided it and I never read it. But now I'm actually reading it, so I don't even know why I'm holding it when you guys can't even see the cover because I covered it up. This is so stupid. I'm so sorry. Let me give you a little quick rundown of what Lore is about. I haven't done that for any of the books that I talked about in this video. Look, Goodreads is free. Google is free. To sum it up, Lore is basically Greek gods, but Hunger Games. Like, if you kill a god, you will inherit their power. But to be honest, I'm a little lost because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not that intrigued. I mean, I'm still pushing through it. There's still a chance that it could get good and I could be intrigued, you know? But usually if you pass the 100-page mark and it's still not very intriguing, then it kind of stays that way for the rest of the book. You know what? I think the guy character is just not doing it for me. Like, Castor, I think is his name. He's kind of a wimp. He's just not doing what he's supposed to do. But I do like Lore's character and I like Miles. I think I actually had a discussion about how Miles was the best character in the book, and he will probably continue to be. Also, this book is set in modern time New York City. Kind of reminds me of One for My Enemy. We have now made it to the conclusion. I'm going to summarize my attempts each day. I mean, hopefully you already saw all the page numbers I've listed. Today is Sunday, so I'll be talking about the entire reading week. This was my attempt of reading 100 pages every single day while in a reading slump. Honestly, I think the reading slump, the first few days of the week, made it really, really hard for me. I felt myself struggling to read. I was not in a reading mood at all, but I think I was in a creative slump of all sorts. Like, I didn't want to consume media, but I also didn't want to create media. I was genuinely feeling very, very burnt out this past week, and the only thing I wanted to do was make YouTube videos, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, I ended up getting out of my reading slump because I ended up picking up The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo on the last 2 days of my reading challenge. And guys, I really, really love this book. I loved it the first time I read it, I think back in 2022 or something like that, and I gave it 6 stars. This is one of my 6-star reads. I've been wanting to reread this so badly just because I don't really remember it anymore. I wanted to go back in and underline and tab this entire book, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm more than halfway through, but this book is one of my most favorite books ever, and if you've never read this book, then you need to read it because I genuinely never shut up about this book. I think when I read this book, I was like 16 or something. I remember finishing it and Googling whether or not Evelyn Hugo was real because that's how real she felt to me. And I love a calculative, manipulative woman. That is a formula that never fails to impress me. I love reading about women who know what they want, and Evelyn Hugo sure as hell knows what she wants, okay? And the fact that this is a reread and it's hooking me this much proves how good this book is. It's amazing. I love this book. Now I'm gonna give you a recap of all the pages that we read because I did document it on my notes app. On Monday, I read Magnolia Parks and I read 61 pages. On Tuesday, I read The Tide Always Comes Back, 198 pages. On Wednesday, I read Lore, 67 pages. On Thursday, I also read Lore, 101 pages. On Friday, I read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, 91 pages. And then on Saturday, I also read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, 119 pages. I would say, like, out of the 6 days, I accomplished the 100-page goal 4 days, which is not that bad considering I was in a really big reading slump, just a creative slump of all sorts, to be honest. I know I didn't accomplish the 100 pages every single day, but guys, I was really going through it with the burnout. I don't know why. I really hate burning out, and I don't even burn out that often, so this was a shock to me. I did my best to edit this video. It was kind of hard, I'm not gonna lie, because there were so many days, and it's hard to like organize all the days and like the footage and stuff. But anyway, I hope it was fun. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in next week's video. Bye.